Hi everyone, we welcome you all to our program today. This is your after school. So hope every Tuesday this is going to be your favorite time of the day from 3:30 to 4 p.m. You are ready to brush up your language skills or your communicative skills in English language. ඉතින් ඔබේ බලාපොරොත්තුව ඔබේ ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවේ කතන හැකියාව වැඩි දියුණු කරගන්නනේ. ඒ නිසානේ ඔබ හැම අඟහරුවාදම හවස 3:30ට ජාතික රූපවාහිනියත් එක්ක after school එක එකතු වෙන්නේ. So every week we come to you with a kind of a difference. So what's the difference today? හැම සතියෙම අපි ඔබව හම්බෙන්නේ මොනවා හරි අලුත් වෙනසක් කරමින්. දැන් පහුගිය සති දෙක අපි ඔබව මුණ ගැහුනේ outdoor programs වලින්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි එලි මහනට ගිහිල්ලා බොහොම විවේකයෙන් නිවි හැනහිල්ලේ programs අරගෙන ආවා. You learned so many things. And today there's another difference. අද මේ අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්නවද? So there's a doubt. Are we going to learn English? Actually we are not going to learn English today. අද අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්න යනව නෙවෙයි. අද අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි භාවිතය ගැන පොඩි අවබෝධයක් ලබා ගන්නයි යන්නේ. That means you are going to experience a discussion in English. So we have a local eminent personality with us today as our guest. So he would appear soon in your screen. So this is going to be a discussion. අපිට ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්න විවිධ ආකාර තියෙනවා. Entertaining, movies බලන විදිහ, ඒත් එක්කම අපි songs වලට ඇහුම්කන් දෙන එක. මේ දේවල් අපි ඔක්කොම දන්නවනේ. And we know we can read books. Other than that, you can get a teacher and study. ඒ ඔක්කොම ක්‍රම පැත්තකින් තියලා අද අපි අහමු මේ සංවාදයක් පොඩි සාකච්ඡාවක්. මේ සාකච්ඡාව අහගෙන ඉඳලා ඒ හරහා ඔබට පුළුවන් ඔබේ දැනුමට අලුත් ඉංග්‍රීසි වචන එකතු කරගන්න, patterns එකතු කරගන්න. ඒත් එක්කම ඔබේ knowledge එක යම් interesting field එකකට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒ field එකට අදාළ English vocabulary එකත් ඔන්න ඔබට ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් අද. So this is going to be a different experience with after school. So we don't have Tricer today, but we have another guest with us. So good afternoon. This is Dr. Lalit Ekanayaka. So if I'm going to tell about him, there's a lengthy profile. So simply, I would like to call him as a consultant physician and once an admiral of the Navy, and recently he is internationally acclaimed as one of the famous wildlife photographers. So good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon, Nisha, and good afternoon all the viewers.
So nice to see you in this studio with us today.
Nice to see you,
Yes.
and thanks for inviting me.
Yes, it's an honor to us. Doctor, I would like to start this question from here. So we know recently and also in the past, you received number of international awards. Actually, you are an internationally acclaimed Sri Lankan in this wildlife photography. I would like to know these awards and all these winnings.
Well, Nisha, I have been in this wildlife photography field maybe I would say around more than 2.5 decades.
2.5 decades.
Yes, and so over the period of I would say about 25 to 30 years, so gradually I have developed my skills and I have updated my knowledge, and also I changed, like everything in this world, wildlife photography is also changing all the time. So I am basically keeping all the time updating my wildlife skills. So, and also I change my locations and change my gear, and also change the techniques and change the style. That may be the reason that I am winning still, because when I started wildlife photography in many years ago, the people who have started with me is no more there. I mean, they are not in as much as I win, you know.
But you are still continuing
Yes,
this.
the reason is I change.
You change.
So it is very important, like in any other field, you need to change and you need to update your knowledge with the current situation in the world. Yes.
Dear viewers, අපි හැම වෙලේම කියන දෙයක් තමයි මේ අපි ඕනම දෙයක් කරද්දී change වෙන්න ඕන. වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕන. වෙනස්කම් වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න ඕන. change. මේ වෙනස. අපි අපේ programs වල style එක වුණත් වෙනස් කරන්නේ ඒකනේ. කාලෙන් කාලට අපි වෙනස් වුණොත් තමයි අපිට ඒ flow එක තුල ඉදිරියට යන්න පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙන්නේ. දැන් ડોක්ටර් කියන විදිහට ડોක්ටර් අදටත් මේ 2.5 decades දශක දෙකමාරකට වැඩි කාලයක්. decade එකක් කියලා අපි කියන්නේ දශකයක්. 10 years, a period of 10 years of time. So ඒ වගේ දෙකමාරක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අවුරුදු 25ක් 30ක කාලයක් තුල ડોක්ටර් අදටත් මේ wildlife photography වල අන්තර්ජාතික මට්ටමේ පිළිගැනීමකට ලක් වෙලා මේ විදිහට ඉන්නේ. මේ change එකට ડોක්ටර් බොහොම කැමැත්තෙන් මුහුණ දීලා continue කරන නිසා. ડોක්ටර් recent award එකක් කියන්නේ බොහොම internationally පිළිගත්ත world top rank එකක් හම්බුණා නේද? Romanian
ඔව් මේ ළඟදී මට හම්බුණා රොමේනියාවේ මිල්වස් කියන ජාත්‍යන්තර වනජීවී ඡායාරූප තරඟයේ ග්‍රෑන්ඩ් ප්‍රයිස් එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් ලෝකෙම ප්‍රථම ස්ථානය. ඒ වගේම ඉන්දියාවේ Nature in Focus කියන ඡායාරූප තරඟයේ මට ලැබුණා conservation focus කියන එකේ ජයග්‍රහණයත් ඒ වගේම portfolio කියන කැටගරියේ special mention කියන එකත්. ඊට අමතරව නිෂා මට මං හිතන්නේ මේ වසරේදී ජයග්‍රහණ මම හිතන්නේ 10ක් 15ක් විතර ලැබුණා. බොහොමත්ම බටහිර රටවල්. විශේෂයෙන් මේ සඳහන් කරනවා නම් ඉතාලියේ OSS කියන තරඟේ, ස්පාඤ්ඤේ මාරියා ලුයිසා කියන තරඟේ, ඒ වගේම මොන්ෆොටෝ කියන තරඟේ, ඒ වගේම ස්ලෝවේනියාවේ මැජිකල් නේචර් කියන තරඟේ මට I can't even remember few things.
That's a list.
Yeah, so much a list. So I have been and also the ඉතාලියේ සියනා කියන ජාත්‍යන්තර වනජීවී ඡායාරූප තරඟේ මේ ඔක්කොම නිෂා high end wildlife photography contests. Very high end.
High end. Yeah.
And annually you get, I mean, the entries numbers may be a couple of thousands, right? And the huge competition. The winning is not easy. So winning and also the acceptance even further.
Yeah, the
and
acceptance.
also highly commended. It's not easy. And also the mama America din big picture කියන තරඟේ මේ සමහර ඡායාරූප තරඟ මම එකපාරක් නෙවෙයි දෙපාර තුන් පාරක් දීලා තියෙනවා. උදාහරණයකට Nature in Focus කියන එක ගිය අවුරුද්දේ මට annual portrait කියන තරඟේ ප්‍රථම ස්ථානය ලැබුණා. ඉතින් අර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්ව වරිදි මම වෙනස් වෙනවා, ටෙක්නොලොජි එක වෙනස් කරනවා, අලුත් තැන් හොයා ගන්නවා. ඒ වගේම තමයි I need to tell one the most important thing, you know, the people who are interested in wildlife photography, they feel that you need to go all the time to other parts of the country to do the wildlife photography to win awards. No, it is not true. Most of the wins, I would say more than 95% of my wins are from the pictures which I have taken in Sri Lanka. So I am proud of that.
Lalit Ekanayake is from Sri Lanka, and he has very beautifully portrayed this problem of these elephants in Sri Lanka that have taken to eating garbage.
Yes, we are also proud of that, doctor.
Yes.
එකතකින් දැන් ડોක්ටර් කියන විදිහට අපි හිතනවා නම් යම් කෙනෙක් මේ අපි ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙන් එළියට ගිහිල්ලා මේ ෆොටෝස් අරගෙන මේවා මේ අපි පබ්ලිෂ් කරලා කන්ටෙස්ට් කරලා දෙනවා නම් නෑ එහෙම දෙයක් නෙවෙයි ડોක්ටර් කියන්නේ මේ බහුතර විනින්ග්ස් තියෙන්නේ ඔබේ මේ අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වයිල්ඩ් ලයිෆ් ෆොටෝග්‍රැෆි වලට යොමු වුණ දේවල්. ඉතින් හැම වෙලේම ඔබට යම් ෆීල්ඩ් එකක දැන් අපි සරලව ගත්තොත් මේ ડોක්ටර්ගේ කතාව තුළ you have a sort of a motivation even to brush up your communicative skills in English. Dr. මේක වුණත් කැමැත්තෙන් කරනවා නම් ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්න එක වුණත් මේකටත් එක පැෂන් එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. ඒත් එක්කම ડોක්ටර් කියනවා වගේ අර ඒ දේ වෙනුවෙන් හොයාගෙන හඹාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා වෙනස් වෙලා මේක කන්ටිනියු කරනවා නම් අර වයිල්ඩ් ලයිෆ් ෆොටෝග්‍රැෆි ડોක්ටර් අචීව් කරා වගේම ඔබටත් පුළුවන් වෙයි මේ ලැන්ග්වේජ් ස්කිල් එකත් අචීව් කරගන්න. Not only we are focusing on the language, we are also trying to mold new inculcate new attitudes in your mind through this discussion. ඔබට මතක නම් අපි ට්‍රොයිස් එක පහුගිය දවසක ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක කරනකොට අපි එක්තරා දවසක මතක් කරා මේ ඇනිමල්ස් කිව්වම දැන් ඇනිමල්ස් කිව්වම ඔබේ ඔළුවට එනකොට වයිල්ඩ් ලයිෆ් කියපු ගමන් ඩොක්ටර් කොහොමත් වීවර්ස්ලාට එන්නේ එකපාරට ඇනිමල්ස් කියන අදහස. So what sort of animals? දැන් අපි language එක පොඩ්ඩක් focus කරද්දී we talked about basically 3 types of animals. That means we can categorize them into basic 3 categories. You know that we can call domestic animals and also wild animals and also farm animals. We talked about these things in a previous lesson. You can go to our YouTube channel after school and surf all these things and revise your knowledge on this again and again. So today we are focusing much on this wildlife. Those who are not domesticated wildlife. So doctor, so what's the difference between these wildlife photography and the other types of photography?
Well, Nisha, the wildlife photography is a genre of general photography, I would say. And the general photography involves, you know, the various kind of things, street photography and fashion photography and also
the landscapes and all those things.
I mean, there are so much of photography
types
in the world, but the basics are the same. So wildlife photography is another part of general photography. I would say another genre of general photography. But there are some cardinal differences, you know. The wildlife photography, as you know, in general photography, most of time you have your control of the what you are going to capture. It is, for example, if I am going to take a picture of you, I can take my time, I can ask you to smile, I can do some makeup, so whatever, I can change the light and so on. But wildlife photography is totally different. Here you have no control on a subject, you have no control on a facial expression of the animal, and also you have no control the activity of the animal, and also you have no control of the light, and also you have no control of the environment. But that does not mean that you can't take pictures. Yes, still you can make. You can control your position sometimes, and also you can control your camera, you can change your gear, you can change your angle, so on you can change. So it is a huge task. So I would say about 75 to 80% you have no control. You have very minimum control in wildlife photography, but still you can make award winning pictures. That of course come with your experience and also your technology and the calculated risk you take. For example, because I am a self-taught wildlife photographer, still I am learning. It's an endless learning curve. There is no end with that. For example, in my medicine, I have done my primary degree, I have done my postgraduate degree, and I have done everything, and my consultant grade, everything I have done. I would say that I have completed my studies in gastroenterology and the general medicine, as well as my other specialties, diving medicine and hyperbaric medicine. But in photography, I would say still I am amateur. It's never ending life, because every day I make mistakes, every day I learn new things, and also I take calculated risks and do new things. That is the very reason, Nisha, still I am in the winning path.
In the winning path, yes, doctor. I was really wondering the way how we take selfies and you capture all these wildlife photos, doctor.
Yeah.
We come to different angles and we smile to them. We take enough time, but you don't have that.
No, you don't
yes.
have. No.
දැන් ඩොක්ටර් පැහැදිලි කරන විදිහට මේ නිකමට කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ෆොටෝ එකක් ගන්නකොට අපිට මේ මොන තරම් අපි ඇත්තටම කන්ට්‍රෝල් එකක් අපිට නැහැනේ අපිට මොන තරම් වෙලාව කන්සියුම් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඕන ඇන්ගල්ස් වලට සමහරට ලයිට් එක පොසිෂන් එක මේ හැමදේම වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන් නමුත් මේ ඩොක්ටර් පැහැදිලි කරන විදිහට වයිල්ඩ් ලයිෆ් ෆොටෝග්‍රැෆර් කෙනෙකුට කොච්චරනම් ලොකු ඉවසීමක් patience ඉවසීමක් තියෙන්න ඕනද නේද ඩොක්ටර්? මේක ලොකු ඉවසීමක් මේ හැමදේම අපිට ඕන විදිහට සෙට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So we have to adjust. We have to adjust accordingly. දැන් අපි වයිල්ඩ් ලයිෆ් ෆොටෝග්‍රැෆි වලට යනවා නම් අපිට ඒ අදාළ තත්ත්වයට adjust වෙන්නයි සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ
there are
නේද
few
ඩොක්ටර්?
things, Nisha, I talk about when I talk about wildlife photography, especially with the discussions and so on and workshops and all. It is actually I developed. I think there are a couple of P letters we are talking about, which I am talking about. I would say first thing is the passion.
Passion.
You know, you need to have a passion of this one. although you might have money and you know you have vehicles, you have the access to the national parks and everything, you have money and everything, but still you cannot become a good wildlife photographer. You need to have a passion. It has to come from your system, right? And also you need a lot of patience. And you know, wildlife photography is a waiting game. So therefore, you need a lot of patience, and also you need to practice. Your equipment you need to practice all the time, and also you need to have perseverance. You know, you have to have a kind of a go. You know,
Yeah.
you must never give up. You lose only when you give up, and also you need to participate. You are not the judge of your wildlife photography. You need to always participate, maybe with your colleagues, and also you can participate in competition. That is the very reason that then they will judge your photographs, not you are not the judge. And also the other one is preservation. You need to focus your photography and to preserve the fauna and flora. That is very important. You know that there is a tremendous threat to the fauna and flora in the entire world, so including Sri Lanka as well.
Yeah.
So therefore, you need to focus on wildlife photography to preserve. In fact, all my winnings actually more on the conservation side. So those are the pillars I am talking about.
Yeah, the 2 P's.
Not 2 P's actually going
There
to be
were
about 7.
7, yeah,
Altogether
Doctor.
7 it goes to. Yes.
So let's highlight the basic too, that he was talking about this passion and patience and also perceiving, all these things are there.
Practice and
Practice and participant, all these things are there, Doctor.
and
in
also
this.
the other thing is prepare to change.
Prepare to change, yes. You are ready to
You
change.
have to change. You know, I started with a basic film camera that many years ago, which I bought when I was in the Faculty of Medicine, Colombo, and it was about 1,000 rupees or something then. Then I started taking pictures of my fellow batchmates. I became the
So you
photo
can
catcher.
start from a very basic thing.
Yeah.
Even in this language also, Doctor, they can start from the beginning, from the basics.
Exactly. So then I moved to digital. Now I am use the mirrorless and also the different technology, drones. You know,
Drones.
the aerial perspective of the photography, and also the GoPro. And there are various, and also remote controlled cameras. You can use technology. Most of my pictures of this year I won.
And also
taken
night vision
by-
cameras, Doctor.
Sorry?
Night vision cameras,
Yeah,
I have
night
heard
vision
about
cameras
that. Yeah.
and underwater cameras.
Underwater cameras.
And also the most of the wins for this year were taken by drone.
Yeah.
So these are totally different perspective, and you can do many things.
So he's ready to change. That's important. He has patience and passion and ready to change, and he won't give up. So those are very interesting things that even basic learners can learn from him. අපි ඕනම දෙයක් කරද්දී දැන් අපි after school පටන් අරගෙන අවුරුද්දකට ආසන්න කාලයකට ලං වෙනවා. ඔබ සෑහෙන පාඩම් ප්‍රමාණයක් අපිත් එක්ක ඉගෙනගෙන තිබෙනවා. බලලා තියෙනවා lessons ලොකු ප්‍රමාණයක්. ඔබට YouTube එකට ගිහිල්ලා මේ දේවල් ආයෙ නරඹන්න පුළුවන්. ඔබටත් passion එක තියෙනවා නම් ඉංග්‍රීසි ඉගෙන ගන්න උනත් ලොකු ආසාවක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒත් එක්කම ඔබ ඒකට කැප වෙනවා නම් බොහොම ඉවසීමෙන් ඔබ වැඩ කරගෙන ඉස්සරහට යනවා. හැබැයි ඔබ give up කරන්නේ නැහැ, අතාරින්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම තමයි ඩොක්ටර් මීට කලින් කතා කරනකොට කිව්වා I am yet an amateur in this. තවමත් මේ amateur ආධුනිකයෙක් මේ ෆීල්ඩ් එකට කියලා. එහෙම හිතන්නේ ඔහු හිතනවා තව දුරටත් ඔහුට හදාගන්න දේවල් තිබෙනවා, තවත් ඉස්සරහට යන්න පුළුවන්. මේකත් ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාව ඉගෙන ගනිද්දී ඉතාම වැදගත් පොයින්ට් එකක්. කොච්චර අපි ළඟට දැනුම ආවත් තව තවත් අපිට දැනුම තියෙනවා එකතු කරගන්න. ඒකයි දැන් අද වුණත් අපි මේ විදිහේ වෙනස් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් ඔබට අරගෙන එන්නේ. This is a discussion. You can see the way how he converses in this language. ඩොක්ටර් කොහොමද මේ ලැන්ග්වේජ් එකෙන් කතා කරන්නේ? How I talk to him. මම කොහොමද ඩොක්ටර්ත් එක්ක කතා කරන්නේ? එතකොට අපි අදාළ මේ කතා කරන ෆීල්ඩ් එකට අදාළ vocabulary එක කොහොමද develop වෙන්නේ? දැන් wildlife, flora and fauna, all these things about the cameras and the way of the skills that they need, all these things. So those are very important. Doctor, I would like to ask about another interesting thing. So what causes you to select this wildlife photography? Is there any other kind of a big force or a kind of a special thing?
No, Nisha, I think it's a good question. You know, when I was studying in Malideva College, Kurunagala many years ago, that is my primary
So
education.
that's your alma mater.
Yes. And though I was studying in science, I had the hidden talent for art.
Art.
I was the best art student in the class, and I was taken part in dramas. I was a good artist, and also I can write well. So, when I got selected to Faculty of Medicine, Colombo University, you know Nisha, University Colombo degree is a medical degree is not easy, you know.
Not easy,
It
yeah.
is, its curriculum is
You
very
have to
tough.
dedicate.
So, you can't do each and everything what you want. So, I selected photography, not the wildlife photography. So, it is a selection not by chance, it is selected, it is a purposefully selected field. So, I bought my first camera, then I started taking pictures of my fellow batchmates in the events and the batch parties and batch trips and so on. So, I became the photo catcher of the batch.
So, is that the beginning, doctor?
That is the beginning. Then I went to Australia for my postgraduate training. You know, Australia is a huge country, it's a continent. I travel a lot. I was with my family and my daughters. So, there I developed my skills, you know. Still not in the wildlife, you know, Australia is not a country to take much of wildlife material, you know. But still, then I returned to Sri Lanka. Then I started visiting Yala.
Yeah.
So, then I got hooked into Yala National Park. Then I thought this is my field and I started.
You are going to continue then?
Going to continue. I would say that is my
beginning there.
Beginning in Yala National Park.
It's really interesting. ඩොක්ටර් අපි කෙටි විරාමයක් අරගෙන ආයෙත් එමු මේ පැත්තට ඩොක්ටර්ත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න බොහොම දේවල් තිබෙනවා ඒත් එක්කම ඔබටත් තේනවා දැන් මටත් ඩොක්ටර්ගෙන් අහන්න ඕනේ ඊළඟට තව අහන්නත් ඕන ඩොක්ටර් මේ කොහොමද ඉංග්‍රීසි පැත්ත හදාගත්තේ ඒ ගැනත් පොඩ්ඩක් අපේ ඔඩියන්ස් එකට වැදගත් වෙයි අපි මේ දේවල් ගැන කතා කරමු. Let's take a small break and back with this program. Yes, here you are back with the program After School. So, we have today with us one of the eminent photographers, consultant physicians and once an Admiral of the Navy. He is Dr. Lalit Tekanayaka. So, we will be back to the discussion again with him. Doctor, we were talking about the way how you entered this and a lot about that. So, I would like to ask a small question about this, Doctor. So, what are the specific skills that you need to master when you engage in this wildlife photography?
As I said before, Nisha, you need to have a little bit of a art in your system, you know, because primarily wildlife photography is an art. You know, photography may be an industry or maybe a technology or maybe a science, whatever it is, primarily I believe it is an art. So, it applies to wildlife photography as well. You are not just taking a picture, that of course you can even take picture from your mobile phone, but wildlife photography is well beyond that. So, there is an art in that. So, you have to develop that art in wildlife photography. Just capturing a shot, what you see, what you have seen is not enough. You need to go a step ahead of that. Then only you make the difference between an average wildlife photographer and a kind of a some kind of level of photography, you know. So, that need to come with your experience and also the. So, what I did was as I said before, I am a self-taught wildlife photographer. What I did was, Nisha, actually still I am doing that. I study all the winning competitions, good competition in the world. In the wildlife photographs I study, and usually they give a small caption how they have taken this picture and so on, you know. And then I read that, and also then you know that, you know, Nisha, our photographic memory is very good, human. Not the description you remember all the time, but for example, if I see you again, I can definitely recognize you, no?
Yeah.
Even many years after that.
That's the sight.
That is so photographic memory is very good.
Memories.
So, always you need to study the winning pictures of the good competitions. Then you those pictures you like a computer in your brain, it get inside
your memory. Yeah, okay.
your memory. The moment you go to an area, you are going to capture. If you see something similar, something with that situation, then immediately you recall that picture. Then you can make your own kind of a style. So, it is like this. Wildlife photography, as I said, is an art. So, you need to do small changes. So, I quote this example. For example, Nisha, if you send I think I would say 10 girls for culinary class, cookery class.
Cookery classes.
Akila began. Yes, after the training, all finished, all have done their training. So we give the material to all the students. අපි දුම් පරිප්පු කරියක් කියලා. 10 දිනකටම දෙනවා පරිප්පු කරියක් හදන්න කියලා. එකම ද්‍රව්‍ය දෙන්නේ. නමුත් රස බලනකොට 10 රස 10ක් නේ. ඇයි ඒ?
Because of
එකම දේ ඉගෙන ගත්තා. එකම මැටීරියල් ටික දීලා තියෙනවා. නමුත් රස 10ක්. දැන් ඔයාගේ අම්මෝ වෙන දේ ඔයා වෙන දේ වෙනස් නේ.
different, yeah.
ඇයි ඒ? අන්න එතන තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඔන්න ඔතන තමයි ඔය පොඩ්ඩ තමයි වෙනස් කරන්න ඕන. ඒක එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එක තමයි එන්නේ.
That is the experience.
Yes.
That what you have gone. That means all
ඒ
these.
පොඩි චේන්ජ් එක තමයි ජජස්ලා බලන්නේ ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් කම්පිටිෂන්ස් වල. Because they see thousands of pictures and in a big screen. The moment they see something different, they stop that picture. Then they go into the detail.
That means just a small change
Yeah.
changes everything. Yeah,
Yes.
in there. Then you are going to have this international victory like that.
මේක පුළුවන් කරන්න මේක මේ අමුතු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි.
The only thing is you have to dedicate.
Yes.
Yes.
You need to have dedication.
Doctor, දැන් ඔය ඩොක්ටර් කියන විදිහට දැන් dedication කියන එක සෑහෙන්න තියෙනවා. ඒත් එකම ඩොක්ටර් මේ passion එකත් එක්ක මේක ඉස්සරහට යනවා. Doctor, I need to ask about this. How did you improve your language? If we give a kind of a message to finally to our
good
viewers.
question. You know, I studied in Malideva College, Kurunegala, and I studied a Sinhala language. I got through my A-levels in Sinhala. Then I entered the Faculty of Medicine in Colombo. Of course, Colombo med school, you know, the language is English. So by whether you like it or not, you have to improve your English if you want to pass the exams. Because all the lectures being done in English. So I was in a bit of a struggle initially, first few months. But I thought it's a challenge, you know.
Is that self-taught?
Well,
this
English,
language, yeah, English.
more or less, yes,
Yeah,
yes, more or less, yes.
Yes.
Because with the medicine syllabus, you didn't have
You
time
had to
to
do
go
that.
to English classes and all. But of course, I had a kind of a knowledge in English when I was studying in Malideva College, Kurunegala. But when I went to the Faculty of Medicine, I mean, I thought this is even for studying medicine in English is also a way of learning English. And also when you talk to your teachers, your lecturers, and when you present cases to your consultants and so on, so gradually you improve English. And also after that I went to Australia, totally English, and I did my postgraduate there, both gastroenterology and IV medicine, totally English. I submit papers, theories and everything all in English.
It was a must at that time.
Yes.
So dear viewers, this is really interesting and motivating to listen to Dr. Lalit. So here in this case, then Dr. පැහැදිලි කරන විදිහට wildlife photography වලට Dr. enter වෙන්නේ passion එකත් එක්ක, Dr. ගේ art එකත් එක්ක යා මේ discover කරගන්න ඒත් එක්ක මේ self learn කළා මේ විදිහට ගොඩනගා ගන්නවා. English උත් ඒ වගේ දැන් Dr. මේ පරිසරයට expose වුණාට පස්සේ medical faculty එකේ you had to follow that knowledge. දැන් අපි වුණත් ඉන්නේ ඒ edge එකේ. We all are exposed to this world. So we have to do this. It has become a must. දැන් අපි හැමෝම expose වෙලා ඉන්න නිරාවරණය වෙලා ඉන්නේ මේ ලෝකයට. ඒ නිසා දැන් අපිට ඉදිරියට යන්න ඉංග්‍රීසි අත්‍යවශ්‍ය දෙයක් බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි after school ඔස්සේ කරන්නේත් ඔබ ගාව තියෙන දැනුම මේ self learning වගේ දෙයකට ඔබ කැමති නම් ඒ දැනුම brush up කරන්නයි අපි නිරන්තරයෙන් උත්සාහ කරන්නේ. Doctor, time ran fast. So thank you very much. And it was really interesting, Doctor. When we have another time, we can call you again and go to that. And it was really interesting to see all these snaps and all. Thank you very much for coming, Doctor.
Thank you.
And educating our students, also the viewers. Dear viewers, it's time to say a goodbye. But we are meeting you next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. with After School. Until that, stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye, all of you.